the Association of Software and Information Services, Mr. Muhammad Shahidul Alam, Chief Corporate and Regularity Officer of ICCIT Limited, Dr. Muhammad Sharifuddin, President of BCS, and Dr. Bikarna Kumar Ghosh, Managing Director of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. So how I believe we have beyond us the people who are listening to us and who might join to us later as the day rolls over. If I look at the list, and if it's okay with you, I can go in exactly the same order, and everybody could say your piece, your perspective on the realization of digital Bangladesh. I know I'm far away from Bangladesh, but pretty close, connected to my heart and aware of the circumstances, but we'd like to hear from the expert who are on the ground. So if it's okay with everybody, may I request Professor Muhammad Kaikobat to go ahead first, because his name is in the very beginning of the list.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much, Karim Bhai, for the opportunity. I gratefully remember your role in moving ICCIT forward. This is the 24th year. You have always sacrificed your time, energy, visiting us every now and then, using your own fund, and it did definitely inspire all of us in Bangladesh going with this kind of activities. I am sure you will have to be also at NCIS within days. Thank you very much. I thank North-South University for inviting me to this panel, and the topic is a very important one toward the realization of digital Bangladesh, prospects and challenges. For many years, maybe almost 40 years, we have been trying to change our fate through application of ICT. There have been many initiatives, maybe too many initiatives in our soil with IT. We have a ministry with the same name. Not too many countries have a ministry. And then again, division. Then we have also another organization called A2I. We have also support to ICT task force, although belonging to a different ministry. We have a high-powered task force headed by the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, although I am not sure whether meetings are very regular. So there are a lot of initiatives, and the dream of creating digital Bangladesh is very befitting for a country like Bangladesh, of the highest population density in the world. Our population density is 24 times as much as world average. So we need to be able to utilize our resources optimally. And ICT is a technology that can do it. Increase productivity, efficiency, and we can invest optimally. It has been already many years, and even the Digital Bangladesh Day, it started in 2008, already 13 years. And there are many initiatives. Maybe I shall tell a little bit about what is not going right, because I am sure our panel members, many of them will be telling about what is going right. And I shall tell you about what is not going right. In Bangladesh, we are developing many infrastructures, very large infrastructures, like our Bangabandhu Jamuna Setu or Podda Bridge. These are very big investments. And I am yet to know whether there was an ICT part in it. If we wanted to do all these things very efficiently, then we must have used ICT as well. Possibly there has been some use of ICT, but I'm not sure whether our own professionals have been involved in these tasks. This is very important. Our professionals cannot earn skill by doing job of other countries. They should be able to do it in jobs of our country. And I'm not very sure about it. I'm sure there are personalities here who will be able to enlighten us with the role of our own professionals, possibly in the Bangabandhu Jamuna Bridge, our Podda Bridge, then Kornofunil Tunnel, and there is another port around Borishal. What is the name? That is also a very big one.
Paira Port, sir.
Paira Port, yes, Paira Port. That is a very big investment there going on. And also the atomic energy in Rupur power plant. This is very important that our professionals get involved in this task, develop skill in them, feel proud being part of these developments. Foreigners will be doing all these things and will be simply watching is not acceptable. We should be able to do all these things. We should be part of this. I hope Mr. Almas Kabir, President Bangladesh Association of Software and Information Services, will be able to enlighten us with their role in all these infrastructures that are being built across the country. Bangladesh will never be a digital Bangladesh simply by using foreign software, foreign hardware, and foreign experts. We need to be digital in our mental makeup. Use this technology in the development of Bangladesh. I hope in the coming days, there will be a shift. If unfortunately I am right in pointing out that our own professionals are not significantly involved in these tasks. Our panel moderator, who knows about almost all the developments, especially in education in Bangladesh, he has also supported us in many of our endeavors, like programming contests for university students and for school college students. This year in the month of October, on the 4th of October, World Finals of International Collegiate Programming Contest was held in Moscow. There are 3 teams from Bangladesh and about 15 teams from India. In that contest, BUET team became champion of Asia West. That includes India, Iran, the powerful Iran, and all other West Asian countries. And BUET became Asia West champion, And our Dhaka University is not far behind. It does indicate that in Bangladesh, our young people are very skilled in computer technology. We should be able to use this resource to the advantage of the country, to the development of the country. Once I came to learn through a report in the daily Prothom Alo that every year we are able to drain out about 35,000 crore taka in the name of foreign experts and consultants. Having so many people in the country, being the most populous country in the world, this is definitely very undesirable. We must have a plan. We must have a plan in which our own people will be more skilled to do the job that are being done by foreign experts. So I am sure there will be people who will be moving this idea forward. I think I have already taken too much time. Am I right?
No, you are okay.
I do not want to. Okay. So these are the points that are very important for us. Not only saying about digital Bangladesh, but doing with our own people. This is a must. 35,000 crore taka is a big amount of money. If we give a salary of taka 35,000 to a young graduate, then it is a matter of 1 crore man month, which is equivalent to 8 lakh man year. Our 8 lakh graduates would have been able to get jobs. They would have been skilled, more skilled, and our own people would have created all the software, and that is needed. I also point out one more thing. In our banks, we use CBS, core banking systems. There are CBS developed by our own people, and there are foreign software as well. Only for the annual maintenance contract of CBS, we are draining out some 500 crore taka every year. So I would like to request our ministry to think about it positively. We have so many people, so many educated people and unemployed people. We must find ways and means to use their skill for the development of Bangladesh. When we are talking about digital Bangladesh, we mean people with expertise in digital technology should be at the forefront. Our universities, especially departments along ICCIT, computer science, should be strengthened with the investment of resources. I know our ICT division has been spending a lot of money. We must also analyze what is happening. Are we moving in the right direction, in the right speed? And for us, it is very easy. Our neighboring country is having a lot of success in the field of ICT. We can measure our strength, measure our achievements in terms of that of India, and we will know our right position. So maybe with these words, I stop here, and I am sure there will be other panel members who will be highlighting our successes that will inspire us to go forward and more successes for the country that is so much needed in our country. Thank you for the opportunity of speaking out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Kaikobad. I just want to summarize in one sentence, I think what he said, that he's going to speak about not what's going right, but perhaps what are not going right, or rather pointing out the challenges part of it. So with that, if I could request Dr. Khandokar Azizul Islam, who is the Additional Secretary of Information and Communication Technology Division, to make his statements. And I believe what he is going to address might address some of the issues that has already been raised by Professor Kaikobad so far.
Thank you very much.
Islam.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And I'm honored to be a member of this panel. I am representing Information and Communication Technology Division and working as Additional Secretary to the government. Yesterday, I have been in Netrokona district of Bangladesh to see the ongoing projects of uh, under ICT division to see the implementation stage. Now I am heading to Dhaka in a vehicle. So using the digital platform. So now you see Bangladesh is experiencing uh, with the digital Bangladesh. I have seen the people using the digital technology in a very remotest area of the country, is a very border area, Netrokona district. So the uses of the technology, the interest, and enjoying the outcome of digital Bangladesh. If we look at very grassroots level, local unit of the country, you can see the outcome of digital Bangladesh. Today, the topic towards the realization of digital Bangladesh prospects and challenges. It's really a very time-worthy topic selected by the organizer. You know, when the present government came in power, first to 2008, set a vision, digital Bangladesh. And since 2008 till today, the digital Bangladesh journey is really a tremendous progress in this sector. What was the scenario before 2008? It's a totally different. People could not think the changes, the present will take place. But now, you know, people know and they see the reality of digital Bangladesh. Under ICT division, Digital Bangladesh, we have designed four pillars, you know. First one is human resource development. The second one is connectivity, the development of infrastructure. The third one, and the fourth one is ICT industry promotion. The government is going forward all together with the development of four pillars. In a human resource development under ICT division has uh, very important organizations. Those are implementing the human resource development, especially on ICT activities. Bangladesh Computer Council is offering a plenty of ICT training courses, and not only the basic courses, also the very advanced technology to face the 4IR, Fourth Industrial Revolution. And Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority, under this authority, they have their some projects, you know, Bangabandhu High Tech City. They have Sheikh Hasina Software Technology Park and the Sheikh Kamal IT Training and Incubation Center. Under these uh, parks, a plenty of uh, training courses are offered. Apart from the public public sector, the private sector also organizing the training programs related to ICT and very advanced technology. And also the university, public and private, they're also playing very key role and introducing the ICT related very advanced modules. Robotics also introduced in their course curriculum and faculty open in both public and private universities. And students are learning the uh, uh, advanced technology as well. And under e-government, you know, e-government, the government ICT organizations, Bangladesh Computer Council, ITech Park, and HY projects, they are also working to introduce the e-government activity in different parts of the country. In a very grassroots level, in union level, the UDC is very important uh, uh, organ of the government, Upajila Digital Center. And from this UDC, 200 plus government services are getting the people from there. And now, any students no need to come, or any people no need to come to Dhaka, to center, or any city town, or the divisional town to get their services like in filling up their form for the passport or for their driving licenses or NID card related activities. So they can do now in the village, and UGC is helping them. And also uh, Bangladesh Computer Council, they have Info Shortcut 3 projects. Under this project, they have already established the internet connectivity, optical fiber connectivity under union level. And so not only 2,600 unions, also the 1,000 police officers, they are enjoying this Wi-Fi facilities to broadband optical fiber connectivity. And number three, of digital Bangladesh, the connectivity. It's very important. Government started three projects, Bangla GovNet. This under this project, from the center ministry to district level connectivity, and from infrastructure two projects from district to Upajala level internet connectivity. And number three, the infrastructure three projects they have established from Upajala to union level internet connectivity. Now government has already approved last ECNEC the establishing digital connectivity. And under this project, all over the country will establish the internet connectivity. So this is the connectivity and infrastructure development. You see, as our Professor Kaikwal said about the infrastructure like Padma Bridge, Bangabandhu Bridge, we can see the Padma Bridge and its impact. It is tangible. Physically, you can see, and you can see the income generating activities will take place after completion this Padma Bridge. But the infrastructure like internet connectivity, you cannot see, but you can feel what sort of outcome will come from there. Under development of this internet connectivity, in our country, the the unemployed girls, unemployed boys, they're earning through outsourcing. They're earning their money in dollar now. They're doing outsourcing from US, from Australia, and so many Europe countries. So the 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 remittance is coming, and we have 650,000, about 1 million freelancers. Government has given them the identity, and they can open their account now, and they can transact their, they can do the transaction after getting this identity card. They can open their bank account now. So they are contributing a lot in ICT sector. So the economy is changing, and the ICT industry promotion, both government and the public. In government sector, the high-tech parks, they are establishing 39 high-tech parks all over the country. Now, MD of high-tech park is here, and he can speak about what is the present scenario of the high-tech park. And in the high-tech park, they are establishing the hardware manufacturing industry from uh, uh, investments are coming from overseas countries and from also the domestic investment inside the high-tech park. And not only the high-tech park, they are giving the approval for establishing the private sector high-tech park. And in private sector high-tech park, a, 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 a good number of high-tech industries like Walton, Minister, Symphony, so they are growing, and they are contributing a lot in the economy of Bangladesh. And as you know, the achievement of digital Bangladesh, 1.5 years during COVID-19, people could realize, and they can they can enjoy the digital platform in in very very important sector, you know, in food delivery, in transportation, in telemedicine, in, you see, uh, the vaccine management under Department of ICT. They have developed a app which is called the Surakha app. Under this Surakha app, all over the country, our government manage this system. Anybody can do and use this Surakha app, and under this Surakha app, they can uh, get their vaccine, and they can know their vaccine, the hospital where they will do their vaccination, and also it is all connected and interoperable with the national identity card, national identity card, yes, NID. So it is also, and not only that during the COVID pandemic situation, government was arranged the online how to manage the uh, relief distribution. So a software also developed by the COI. So actually, this is the the achievement of digital Bangladesh. Yes, now the digital Bangladesh is really, but we have to go further. We may have some challenges to to compete with the international. So for that, what we are doing, we are also offering the very very advanced advanced technology. So if you could do and introduce the advanced technology in our course curriculum and also in our different organizations, so that basic is over in ICT. Now we have to go for further movement to face the fourth industrial revolution. So that we need this, if we face this challenge, we have to go the very, very advanced technology. And government is very keen. And right now, 181 million people, they are using the mobile phone subscriber. we have 165 million people, but 181. This is very recent data, October 2021, and from BTRC, 181 million people are using the mobile phone in different SIM, like Brahmin's, Teletalk, the Robi, etc. And we have 129 internet users in the country. So before 2008, only 55 million people uses this internet. So 5 billion, sorry, 5 billion. So you see the difference. So I can conclude with a story from my personal story. A couple of years back, I'm doing a training program in Singapore, and when I was walking in front of Mustafa Center, there is a field, and at the evening I saw a Bangladeshi worker was talking with his wife, who is living in very rural area of the country, in maybe Panchagod, and she was using the local language, and I saw she is operating mobile phone very uh, user friendly way, and they are doing the video conferencing, and that illiterate lady, she knows how to use the smartphone, and you know, and she knows, and before in the year in 90s, what we have seen, I thought it is very difficult to use the mobile phone by our illiterate people. Now you see the rickshaw puller, the street trader, they can use the smartphone. They have more than one mobile phone. So what has government has done? Government has reduced the mobile phone prices, so it is very easy to purchasable for the rural people, and the internet using price reduced by the government, so they can use people living in very rural areas. She knows, and she is uh, adopting that technology very faster. So it's a revolution by the government, and what we are uh, 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 realizing this digital Bangladesh. So I may conclude over here from the government of ICT division. So if anything comes later, I can give the input. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us from your car where you're driving, and so essentially demonstrating connectivity.
Yes.
I know the connection was not necessarily always great, but we were able to hear almost everything that you tried to say. So if I could invite now, please stay with us for the rest of the panel. I hope at some point we will have back and forth questions. If I might invite now Mr. Syed Almas Kabir, who is the president of BASIS, or Bangladesh Association of Software and Information Services, to give his valuable thoughts.
Very good afternoon from Dhaka. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Thank you for inviting me here in this August panel. Let me share my screen. And while I speak, I'll just want to share these points. I hope you can see my screen.
We do.
Okay. So we are talking about digital Bangladesh and the prospects and challenges of digital Bangladesh. But first, let us see what is the concept, the real concept of digital Bangladesh, what we understand, what we really need to understand about digital Bangladesh. So firstly, we want to have a digital human resource who are skilled in the STEM areas, and of course with ICT literacy. Then we want to have the digital citizen. We want to break or rather minimize the digital gap, the digital divide, and the government wants to bring all the citizen services digitally online to the citizens. A citizen should not have to go to the government to seek a service. Rather, the government will come with the service to the citizen, and the citizen will be able to use the service on his or her mobile phone or on the computer. So that's the idea. ICT used in business, so that which will promote access to market and all this thing, and also ICT to become a major export-oriented sector. And we definitely have the potential to overtake our largest industry, which is the ready-made garments. And with the potential that we have, we can overtake that quite easily. And also the digital government. So again, as I was saying, all the government procedures, the government functioning, everything will be happening digitally, which will ensure not only efficiency and speed, but also transparency and accountability. So this is more or less the concept of Digital Bangladesh, and this is what our current government has the mandate to build. And we have seen a lot of it being taken shape in the last 1 decade. Especially it was quite evident during the pandemic time, during the lockdown time, when we used the infrastructure of Digital Bangladesh and we carried on with our lives, carried on with our businesses, and we were successfully able to keep the growth rate of our GDP above 5%, like 5.2% or so, beating all the odds and beating all the predictions of World Bank and ADB and others. So that is what Digital Bangladesh, and of course we have seen that a lot of digital centers, the government has made Service Innovation Fund, Challenge Fund, National Portal, Human Development Media, Digital Land Services, Digital Judiciary, Teachers Portal, the Shurakha, which did wonders with the vaccination. We know about the e-file, e-Nothi system in the government. We know about the Muktopat, etc. So these are many Digital Bangladesh key initiatives by the current government. So if I just share a few data with all of you, you see, in a country of 160 million people, we have more than 180 million mobile phone subscribers. That shows the level of mobile phone penetration, the phone penetration in Bangladesh. 83% of those mobile phone users are smartphone users. We have almost 130 million internet users, which actually caters to 79% of the population. So this shows the level of penetration. We have digital centers all over Bangladesh, 5,865. We have the e-filing platform that I was talking about. During the lockdown time, the government machinery was not standstill. The government operated very smoothly using this e-filing system. They have processed like more than 90 million files with this. The future digital human resource established, the government has established more than 8,000 Sheikh Russell digital computer labs in the schools and colleges, and more are coming. If you talk about the digital finance, we know that we have the largest mobile financial system in the world, because being the largest MFS service provider in the world with 41.1 million active MFS account holders, and 22 billion taka are being transacted every year. We have agent bankings, we have 14% of merchants accept money through MFS, and very important in the financial inclusion, 36% female above 15 years, they have account in a financial institution or a mobile financial services account. In the technological progress in our Digital Bangladesh, we have seen that digital outsourcing, we are numbers 2 in the digital outsourcing in the world. Just after India, we cater for 16% of all the outsourced work in the world. by the internet usage, we are the 5th in Asia. We have the 7th largest data center, and so on. I'm not going into detail. And the economic advancement that we have seen, that our per capita income has gone to $2,554 US, and ensuring 6.4% growth, average growth. Last year we exported software and IT enabled services worth of $1.3 billion US, whereas the local market alone is worth of $1.4 billion US equivalent. High-tech FDI, we have seen more than 400 million, and startup is actually around $200 million US in the startup investment. So this is for a sustainable digital growth. This is the plan, the roadmap ahead. By 2030, we want to apply ICT in industrial transformation and remove the societal technological divide that we have right now. And we want to achieve the upper middle income status, and also achieve the SDGs. By 2041, we want to have the total industrial automation through ICT, and we want to become a developed nation, and not only that, a knowledge-based economy and a cashless society. By 2050, we want to reduce the carbon emission in accordance with the global target. And of course, we need to make Bangladesh an ICT hub with all kinds of R&D. And by, you all know that the year 2100, we already have a Delta plan, and it will be, our progress will be dependent on how we do in the previous years. So this is the roadmap ahead. But let's talk about challenges, challenges we have. You see, even now, the quality of the education in the tertiary level and the TVET, and the certificate level, there are a lot to be, there are scope of improvement. TVET provision in the ICT education is needed. There is a lack of hybrid and object-based education courses, and we really need to address to that, and reduce the academia industry gap. And the academia should come forward and incorporate the emerging technologies related to fourth industrial revolution. So this is very, very important. We need additional easing of business. As you know, that the government has already started working on it. So we need to, progress in that area. And especially we need to make it easy for young people and for women entrepreneurs to open and conduct their businesses. It's very urgent that we establish a robust digital infrastructure and with a 5G network, so that we can take the full advantage of fourth industrial revolution and the technologies related to it. And last but not the least, there's an acute need of financial options. The access to finance remains a very, very big challenge for digital entrepreneurs, the ICT entrepreneurs. And this is one area where the government has to work on. And of course, the R&D is very, very important. So that is another area, and funding for R&D is very, very important. So financing and funding and access to finance is the area where we really need to focus on. As you all know, that the fourth industrial revolution is actually shaping the digital world. You see, for Bangladesh, if we really can take advantage of these technologies like the artificial intelligence, the IoT, the Internet of Things, the cobots, where the machine, the robots, and the human being are in a collaborative working relationship. So we are calling them cobots, with the augmented reality and the virtual reality, and of course 3D and 4D printing. So if we can use these technologies rightly in the right way, Bangladesh can take a leap forward. I would say a quantum leap forward. If we can really take the advantage of this. There might be a question about a 4D printing. 4D printing is in a very short way. It is 3D printing with a little extra, like I'll give you an example. Suppose you print a box, but with a trigger, that box can open itself. It's open by itself. So that is actually a 4D printing. So that a lot of heavy funding is going on in this technology. So if we can take advantage of these technologies, then we can actually prosper. And why? Because it will increase the value of the products and services. The productivity will increase. It will create new revenue streams. It would support the globalization. Not only globalization, it will also expand the local market, and it will reduce the labor cost. So these are the reasons that why we need to adopt the 4IR as quickly as possible. But again, there are challenges, as you know very well. So we have our own HY. They have their own study, which they say that by 2030, 60% of the ready-made garments workers will be at risk of losing their jobs because of 4IR. 35% of the workers in the leather sectors are at risk. 20% workers in the tourism sectors, around 1.4 million jobs in the furniture industry. So you see, there are a lot of risks in the fourth industrial revolution, and we know it. I'm not going into detail in that. We all know about that because this time, unlike in the first, second, and the third industrial revolution, this time the machine can actually think. The machine can actually make decisions. The cognitive skills, which previously machine could not do, the human had to do, but now machine can do, and machine are also developing the sensory perceptions and everything. So many jobs are at risk. And let me give you a list, just a short list by Bloomberg. You see, Bloomberg is saying, this is a study from last year, 2020. Bloomberg is saying that 98% of loan officers, like in the officers working in banks, who takes decision about loan and whether, in the risk assessment, 98% of them are at risk. Receptionists, 96% of the receptionists, clerks, etc., they are at risk. 94% of paralegals, the legal assistants, they are at risk. 92% retail salesperson at risk. And so on. I'm not going into detail. Even the lawyers, there are 3.5% lawyers are at risk. Elementary school teachers are also at risk. Even the reporters and staff correspondents, the journalists, 11% are at risk. So and so on. The list goes on. So what to do? So Bangladesh needs to adapt to these skills that you see on the screen. So we need to have skilled human resources who are adept in sensors and machine intelligence algorithms, big data and analytics, blockchain, simulation and visualization and digital twin, in industrial IoT, cybersecurity, cloud and edge computing, additive manufacturing or 3D printing and 4D printing, human machine cooperation, the cobots that we were talking about, the AR and VR, autonomous robots, and of course the neural network and machine learning. So these are the skills which we have to, give it to our human resources. We have been talking about a demographic dividend because we have a very young population. The average age of our population is under 28. But this dividend cannot be reaped if they are not skilled. So if we want to really reap that dividend, the demographic dividend, we need to skill them in these technologies, in these modern frontier technologies. So this is my last slide. The national strategy for robotics, there has to be there. You see, in a very briefly, I'll just tell you this, that the industrial robots will replace human labor, no doubt about it. Our RMG workers will be at risk. But should we allow industry owner to replace all the human labors overnight? Maybe there should be a national robotic strategies. Maybe the government may think about a staggered adaptation of industrial robots. Maybe the first year, a factory can only replace 25% of the laborers, and then 25%. And then maybe in the 4-year time, this is just an example, there can be a staggered policy that when a factory owner can replace the human labor with industrial robots. We also need to have a national blockchain strategy. You know that because of its inherent qualities, the security and the audit trail and everything, blockchain can ensure not only accountability and transparency, but also security. In a country like Bangladesh, we have to use blockchain in our financial services, in the national databases and so on. So there has to be a strategy on how to use this blockchain and make people skilled in blockchain technology. We have to have a strategy for artificial intelligence. With so many mobile users and internet users that we are generating hundreds and millions and trillions of data every day, every month. So how to mine this data, how to ensure the privacy of this data, how to ensure the security of this data, and analyze this data, use artificial intelligence based on these data. So there has to be a strategy for these things. National IoT strategy has to be there. As soon as the 5G will start, hopefully by next year, we will see an explosion of IoT devices all around. Everything will talk to each other. So there has to be, to make it streamlined, to make it, to have a discipline, to ensure privacy and security of the citizens, there has to be a strategy of IoT. We need a strategy for microprocessor designing. We know that at least a couple of companies in Bangladesh, they are already designing microchips for as big company as like Apple. And we have an enormous potential in that. Maybe we will not be able to fabricate. We do not want a fab lab, manufacturing of chips, but we can definitely design complicated chips. So we need to have a strategy on that. Cybersecurity strategy, last but not the least, is very, very crucial. Not only data privacy, but also data security has to be ensured, because as I said, data is being generated every day, trillions of data, and data being the new oil. We have to be very, very careful about our privacy and security of the data of our citizens. So these were my slides, and I hope I have addressed about Digital Bangladesh, its prospects, what we can achieve through Digital Bangladesh, and what are the immediate challenges that we have. If you have any questions, I will be ready to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Almas Kabir, for giving us a sense of where the prospects are and some of the challenges, not all, some of the challenges. Might I will come back to asking questions. I at least thought that's all of us get everything out of our chest first, and then we'll go back and forth. So might I request Mohammed Shahidul Alam, who is the Chief Corporate and Regulatory Officer of Robi ICCIT, to give his perspective.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I consider that all decorum and protocol is maintained from my side. I'm obviously representing from the private sector and especially from telecom. So I will highlight my perspective from telecom and ICT policy changes, and of course, the challenges towards the end. As we all know, telecom policy was adopted in 2008 at the same time when Digital Bangladesh was actually announced. And then it was amended in 2018 after 10 years nearly. And in between, we also have the ICCIT policy 2015. So Digital Bangladesh 2021, it was emerged actually as the part of the Charter of Change, the election manifesto of the current government for the 9th parliamentary election. The declaration was made in December, I think it was 12, 2008, for the election held in December 29, 2008. Subsequently, a national ICT policy was announced in 2015 to put into place by governments and stakeholders who are committed to the process of bringing digital technology to all individuals and communities so that citizens can have access to information. Now, if I just give a brief scenario, obviously my earlier Almas Bhai and others have given some perspective, but let me give you from my perspective, especially from telecom side. the difference that we have made in the last 10 years. So 2008, tele-density was 34.5%. In 2021, tele-density is 105.9%. So we have actually achieved more than 3 times of the policy aspirations. Mobile subscriber were 4.6 crore in 2008. We currently have 18.13 crore. By the way, these numbers are actually SIM-based, as Bangladesh is a multi-SIMmer country. But from unique penetration base, we still believe that we have about 12 crore customers in our all 4 operators network. Mobile internet subscriber, we had 0.36 crore. Currently, we have 11.9 crore subscribers. A network like us, 74% of our subscribers are actually using mobile internet. In a country where 94% of the people actually uses mobile internet when you compare to 100% of the internet penetration. In that case, mobile internet density that we talk about is 2.5%. It was in 2008. We achieved 69.6% in 2021. Internet bandwidth, 7.5 Gbps at the time. In 2008, currently, this is staggering 2600 Gbps or 2.6 terabyte. If you look at how we have made it affordable, in 2008, average price per minute was 0.88. In 2021, it came down to 0.50 or 50 paisa. Average price per internet was 3.89 at the time in 2008. And in 2021, it came down to 0.16. These are, of course, some of the few snapshots, the feed that we have achieved within that policy. Again, same, I think Almas have mentioned MFS users, mobile financial services. There was no mobile financial service in 2008. Currently, we have about 10.4 crore mobile financial service recipients in our networks. So all this that we have achieved over a period of time to implement the philosophy of digital Bangladesh, which obviously comprises of ensuring people's democracy and human rights, transparency, accountability, and establishing justice, ensuring delivery of government services to the citizen of Bangladesh through the maximum use of technology, with the ultimate goal being the overall improvement of the daily lifestyle of general people. Now, if we look at the so far what we have done as all operators, as private operators, we have invested over 140,000 crore taka in Bangladesh for establishing mobile connectivity for the citizens of the country. We are now coming to a phase where we are sort of sunsetting the 3G, strengthening 4G, and preparing for ourselves for 5G. So another bout of investment that we are expecting in the next coming years to ensure that people have the access to the latest technology. Now, while we have achieved all this, and I think some of the achievements that my earlier panelist has mentioned, I just like to highlight, because the time is very short, so I like to highlight some of the challenges that we have in the coming years. The major challenge that we currently see from private investors' perspective, that I think our Professor Kaikubal sir has also mentioned, we have few proprietary software within Bangladesh. We have very small quantity of R&D that actually, we even private operators run, but no large scale R&D that's currently going on. As a result, we have few proprietary software. All 4 operators, we invest approximately $800 million every year. Out of that, $200 million we actually pay outside for software maintenance and buying softwares, etc. While the world is moving towards open source software and technology, even though still now we are struggling in Bangladesh because we do not have the people, the skill that required to operate or to develop those open source software for telecommunications or connectivity for future generations. Now, those are from the industrial and enterprise side, but let me highlight to you that we can all do best for, develop the skill sets and everything, but overall digital literacy is one of the main challenges that we are facing. Of course, when I say we have few proprietary software and also we have huge lackings of programmers and coders, but on the other side, from general public side, we see the digital literacy become the bottleneck for our progressions. Now, this is where we need to ensure that digital literacy is actually enhanced through means of government policy. When I talk about we have achieved 18 crore mobile SIM, but unique wise is about probably 11, but still 45% of the population are yet to be connected with mobile connectivity. And this is where we have biggest challenge. So whatever investment we do, we are unable to bring back our investments or make profit to that extent, because there are not many people who can actually create that economic scale that we require to reach to that profitability. And if there is no profitability, of course, investment will slow down gradually. So while the digital platforms are in place, a significant portion of the population is not using the digital services or are not capable of using the services. So whatever government is doing, yes, is good. Government side, we can see that a lot more transparency and e-noti and everything is, of course, gearing up in the recent times. However, mass public is still unable to obtain those services because of the lack of digital literacy. Of course, my other panelists have mentioned the human resources, so I will not, emphasize on those. But the one thing that we always face is the addressing the bureaucracy in the system to enable the synergy of the digital system. We often see that despite the availability of the digital system, many services providers are actually still prefer the manual way. And as a result, we see that while the systems are there, but penetrations of digital adaptability is actually still not to the expected level. We again see that while the developed countries are progressing at high speed with all the new technologies, Bangladesh should also not fall behind that race. If we become the late adopter as an economy, we will fail to grab the full market potential. And this is what I was referring to 5G that we are preparing for now, where we will provide high speed connectivity. Even with the 4G, I just like to give you statistics. While we have provided coverage to 99% of the population, only like 35 to 38% of the population is actually able to receive the 4G connectivity experience. The simple reason is they don't have the devices that require to obtain the 4G services or the experience they, we can provide. So there are a lot of people are actually, we are leaving behind. And this is the digital divide that we are creating. Unless we address those, I think in going forward, we'll face a lot more challenges. So while we will, of course, invest more, we'll concentrate on more policy changes, but people will not be onboarded. And this is where we need to actually have the ideas how to bring mass people into the digital literacy and digital adaptations. Now, of course, I don't want to, and I do not wish to undermine the achievement that we have made since 2008, as I have already given the statistics. I think that was the first round of achievement that we have. In the second round, we need to move faster to make sure that mass people actually join. And that's what we see in the Europe. We see in the, in North America and South America side as well. More people and more people are actually coming and onboarding on the digital side because of their digital literacy. And this is what, when you talk about digital economy, this is where the people are actually going to contribute. This is where people are actually going to make a huge impact, improving the digital economy going forward. Now, when we talk about, of course, the investment and everything, what we also need to look at, and this is my proposition or our proposition, is that we need to move away from the tax-based economy to value-based economy, where facilitating expansions of new services, providing incentive will eventually increase the income of the government, and as a whole will expedite the digital transformation. But contrary to that, what we look at, our other side of the regulators or policymakers are not to the, to the stage to adapt the digital economy going forward. We're still looking at the traditional way of taxing, traditional way of, earning revenue. But if that continues, of course, then we will be far behind. And this is where we have to have a value-based economy, and that's the policy changes that we expect in the coming days. As data is the next generation oil, a well-structured data governance model and facilitating the right use of data also can take the economy to the next level. In order to do so, a well-structured national regulation should be formulated. Now, we see that there are Of course, the data privacy law and data protection law is in the draft stage or draft reading stage at this moment. A wholesale-based adaptation of data privacy from neighboring countries is not going to help us. We need to have our own ideas. We need to adapt our own circumstances into that. Otherwise, again, we are going to implement something which is like, in many cases, what happens, we adopt or implement laws which is like 10 years old. Now, if we have to go forward, we have to look at the current scenario, and this is where we have to address. So the more comfort and confidence that we can give to the consumers in terms of the digital medium of the services, the faster the rate of adoptions there will be. So hence, data privacy, cybersecurity should get priority as well. And of course, as I mentioned, we need to implement the value-based taxation system, incentivizing the companies, startups who are or will be working with the government for the next generation technologies of 4R should be given the priority. And there should be an express policy, not only a general policy. I'm talking about here a economic policy, the taxation policy, where actually then private companies and these innovations that we can actually encourage. Without innovation, we cannot progress. Without innovation, we cannot have the proprietary software. It all will remain as a dream. Hence, we need to actually, in order to safeguard the interest of both consumers and the service providers, robust competitive framework should be in place, and government actually should take into action where this competitive framework can be maintained. And innovation only can actually flourish if there are those competitive frameworks in place. Otherwise, we'll be far behind. So the policy should enable the path towards ensuring the right framework to enable the right infrastructure in the pipeline to cater future demand. It should also enable the authority to ensure the right use of all available resources of the government infrastructures. And in that way, we can actually achieve the dream of 2041. I end my talk here. And of course, I'll be happy to respond to any questions that audience have. Thank you.
Thank you. If I might sum up, thank you very much. That he has truly pointed out problems as well, challenges. And he has cited primarily digital literacy is a stumbling block in moving us forward. And I think he also cited the example of his own company where some 20 to 25% of the revenue is spent on foreign contractors for different purposes. And I think this kind of, sits in the same vein that was highlighted by Professor Kaikobad. I believe it was said, but was not said. I just want to kind of mention that this digital literacy is also related very much to our quote unquote GDP growth that we emphasize repeatedly. But what we fail to acknowledge that the gap between the very rich 10% and the poor is increasing day by day. And so hoping that the majority of the population will be able to buy the right devices to get to your 4G and speak about 5G might remain a distant dream. Again, thank you very much for pointing this out. I'd like to invite next Dr. Muhammad Sharifuddin, who is the president of Bangladesh Computer Society, to make his valuable comments.
Thank you very much, Professor Rezaul Karim, Professor M. Karim, and the North-South University for organizing a very timely event, which is very crucial for the advancement of this country. And till now, including Professor Kaikobad, sir, and also Khandakar Rezaul, and Almas Kabir, and also the Ruby, also panel speaker from Ruby already mentioned a lot of things. And I belong to a professional body, though I am a university professor, but here I present as as the president of Bangladesh Computer Society, which is the only professional body who deals with the professionals' benefits, professional development, and for the prosperity of the country by these professionals. So there are a lot of things already came out. The most important things, I believe, that already mentioned at first Professor Kaikevasar, that is our professionals is working for foreign countries. We believe that our university is producing good professionals, but these professionals are going out to the other country for working for that country. But our professionals is not really respected, or their job placement and job positions and job satisfaction, I think not at the stage which is really will attract these professionals to be involved in national development, directly national development. But though they are sending remittance from the foreign country, but this is very important point here. So that's why our government, I thanks our government, that is government developed a consciousness of digital Bangladesh among the whole community and the whole among the all citizens of Bangladesh. The digital Bangladesh is now a known word to all, and people are gaining some benefits from already mentioned my previous speakers, that is the financial transaction, mobile financial systems, as well as different types of government services through these union internet service center and information service center. So from that point, our people are benefited. And the other point I just already started, that is the empowerment of our professionals. Our professionals, if we empower our professionals, then I think it will be it will bring good benefit and prosperity to the country. So digital Bangladesh, the major challenges, still there is no, from the government side, there is no cadet service for the ICT. And that's why in every government offices, so that government implementing a lot of things, but every government offices, there are the system analyst, programmer, assistant programmer, different types of posts, but they do not hold any offices in the government sector. So for example, in agricultural sector, there is agricultural officer, that is education sector, education officer, they hold office. In judicial section, that is judicial officer. So in land sector, that is land officer, SE land. So that types of they hold in offices. But the ICT professionals, the perception of our people, that is they will maintain their computers, they will establish the connection, internet connection, that their job is just on these premises. And that's why the empowerment of professionals is really very important for the advancement of this country, or just to make this country a digital Bangladesh. And another, Sayyid Almas Kabir also mentioned that there is a gap between education and industry. Yes, our industry is somehow reluctant to mess with the educational institute. And educational institute, there is a reluctancy. And as a whole, I think this should be overcome through really government initiatives. So if every university has a wing for just collaborating with the company, with the industry, and industrial wings, for example, BESIs or other sorts of ICT division. So if the industry put their problems to this cell, and this cell communicate with the universities as well as university professors, and then the gap will be minimized. As a whole, at present, the university professionals do not understand what is the problem our industry are facing. And industry do not disclose their problems to the university. So when I did my PhD at Japan and also masters at Japan, and all, I visited many countries as a postdoc fellow. And that time I saw that the industry people are waiting just to make a meeting with the professors and just to make a collaboration with the university. But this environment is really absent in our country. And I think it's a really challenging status and challenging state for the blockage for the advancement of digital Bangladesh. So these things should be pointed out. And the other point, for example, the cost of financial mobile transactions. Say, for example, for every 1,000, it takes say 15 to 17 taka or 15 to 20 taka, and it's really somehow expensive. And the internet, the price of internet is also, though my previous panel speaker also said that there is some shortage or the cost is reduced, but still it is not so reduced. So the calling charge, internet charge, and transaction fees should be I think should be level field condition, so that the whole people can adapt with these digital advantages and digital services. So these are the things I think really very important. The other things our Professor Kaikwasa already mentioned, that our companies are just using foreign softwares. Say for example, banking sector in CBS, there are foreign softwares, and in many sectors there are foreign software we are using, and we are paying lots of money for maintenance of these software. That is annual maintenance contract, which is called AMC. But I think it should be minimized. So this point should be emphasized. So as a whole, I think it is required from the government side, there is a policy and there is a compliance. So the software has to be, these types of compliance has to follow, has to show, and the trust of industry and trust of financial institutes will be increased or will be enhanced as a result. So this is very important for promoting our talented involved in software development or software industry. So as a result, our company have gained full trust and full confidence on using the own or national software. And so this is very important. And another panel member also mentioned that our people, that is our ICT professionals, earning a lot of money by using freelancing. And freelancing, they do, it is a very good site, no doubt it's a good site, but we have to involve, or we have to invite foreign investment to our country, so that our talented people, our professionals can get a job over there and can be involved in developing different types of softwares, different types of hardwares, and different types of software systems. As a result, so in this way, I think our neighboring country did tremendous advantage in this sector, but we are lagging behind it. So I believe that a true policy from the government side, it is very essential For example, another point. Say, for example, recently we saw that many e-commerce company collapsed. For example, eBay and other sorts of company. And I found that there is from my perspective, there is a policy, there is absence of policy from the government side, that I think a proper policy should be framed, proper policy should be developed, and these should be promulgated so that these company, the e-commerce company, or in the whole world, rest of the world, it is surviving. But in our country, it is bankrupt, or it just looted the money of the people. So this cannot be happened, and this cannot be a good environment or good atmosphere for flourishing the digital Bangladesh. So I believe that these things should be emphasized and should be resolved and through proper policy framing. And as a result, and our country will be benefited greatly. So up to this, I conclude my speech. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to say something about these very booming or timely topic. It is the challenges and prospects of realization of digital Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We just heard from Dr. Sharifuddin, the BCS president, who tried to point out the gap between academics and industry. He did point out the costs that needed to be paid for the services. I believe Muhammad Shahidul Alam, who is from Robi ICCIT, might say how he is going to make profit if the cost has to be reduced. So these are very challenging issues. We're going to come back to that. But last but not the least, our sixth panelist, and then we'll come back, all of us together, is Dr. Bikarna Kumar Ghosh. He is the Managing Director of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. So Dr. Bikarna.
Let me share the screen. Is my screen is visible and I am audible?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you very much. In this discussion towards the realization of digital Bangladesh, prospects and challenges, I find many enlightened persons who are really the lighthouse of a society and the country indeed. Panel moderator, Professor Dr. Muhammad A. Karim, University of Massachusetts, USA. Professor Dr. Muhammad Kaikobad, one of my very, very favorite teacher from my early childhood. Dr. Khandugar Aizul Islam, the additional secretary. Also Mr. Said Almas Kabir, President Basis. Muhammad Shahidul Alam, Rabi Jeta. Professor Dr. Mohd Sharifuddin, President Bangladesh Computer Society, and also other participants. I wish you all a very, very good afternoon. I am on the last, so it's very hard for me to look for the point to be discussed or to be focused, because all are discussed. And it's very easy for me to conclude. So I'll be finishing very fast. This is the month of December. We are passing across. We achieved our victory in this. The most glorious part of our history is our independence and our victory. 50 years back, achieved its independence with the leadership of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. All our achievements during the last 50 years and all will be achieving the next decades, centuries. It's based upon the foundation laid by the father of the nation. We are grateful. I also pay my respect to 3 million martyrs who sacrificed their highest for our achievement. We also pay our thanks to Honorable Prime Minister, the very visionary leader who not only dreamed, he made the leadership and achieved the dream of the nation, Golden Bengal, and its modern version, Digital Bangladesh. In the month of December, 12th December 2008, she declared, we are going to achieve, or we will be achieving Bangladesh in any form, the digital Bangladesh. ICT and the young generation will be the center, and we will be a middle-income country. Government, private, academia will be moving forward towards ICT in almost all our lifestyle or economy or health, agriculture. If we compare, as said by Mr. Dr. Khondok Azizul Islam, there is a shift of paradigm in the last 12 years. 2009, our per capita income was very minimal, less than 500 US dollars. Increased around 5 times, standing right now more than 2,550 US dollars. During that time, nothing about the concept of broadband. Right now, almost 70% of the geographical area and the same percentage of the total population, amounting to almost 11 crore or 110 million under broadband coverage, because 3,800 unions are under optical cable connectivity that was ordained by Honorable Additional Secretary. Mobile penetration almost 100%. We achieved the status of middle-income country 2 years before our target. So it's a big achievement. Our next milestone, Vision 2041. We want to be a developed nation and a knowledge-based economy, high-income country. And we will be an innovative nation. Our economy will be innovative economy. In between, there are 2 milestones. One is the 2025, other 2031. 2031, we want to achieve the goal, SDG goals, upper middle income country, and also inclusive nation. Nobody will be left behind. Then what's after 2040? The next will be Vision 2071. Because the Golden Bengal is a never-ending process. Our development will be continued forever. We'll follow the blue economy. In addition to our land, ocean will be one of the major resources. Of course, our brain, human resource, the most precious gift from the Creator. We have the demographic dividend, as said by many of the speakers, particularly Professor Kaikowatz. Right now, we have 70% of our population below the age of 35, 50% below the age of 25, as directed by Honorable Prime Minister. Two very important components. One is the my village, my town, and other is the our young generation. With the combination of these two and ICT as the cross-cutting issue, the nation will be moving forward. That will be our main striking force for our national development. High-tech parks. Me as the MD, I will try to focus, put some light what government, particularly high-tech park, has done during last 10 years and what we are going to do. We started our journey with the hand of Honorable Prime Minister just 2010, 11 years back. The first 5 years was our starting time. We also based on 4 pillars. Our first and foremost, the infrastructure development. And that is very, very important for economy. I do believe our next hub of economy, capacity development, foreign currency income, employment, the biggest source will be the high-tech parks. We also work on ICT ecosystem. ICT division is mandated for that. And it starts from the very beginning, including all the population, 170 million. Not for the only university student, not for the ICT graduates only. From the next year onwards, we'll be starting computer language education in the very primary level, coding, of course, suitable for the primary students, as like a Bangla alphabet or English alphabet. It will be as simple as like that. To make our nation, to make our next generation very much capacitated with ICT. The next level is the secondary. You all know ICT is the compulsory subject. Almost 13,000 educational institutions have got digital lab, Sheikh Russell Digital Lab, in addition to a language lab. By 2025, all the institutions, either in village or city, will have at least one ICT lab. In the Upazila level, government is going to establish the School of Future, the most modern advanced system of education. Is followed by, right now in some of the countries like say Sweden or Finland, in 300 schools. If it is suitable, adaptable for our students, then that will be replicated to all over the country. In the Upazila level, 3-4 more most advanced type of labs will be established in a very short time, maybe within a couple of years. We are calling it as the Digital Service Employment and Training Center digital service employment and training center. Those who will be willing to make their career in ICT area, they need not to move far to the cities, to the district. They can have one of the, say, fourth industrial revolution related training, say IoT or artificial intelligence or robotics or whatever, or some kind of this. These resources will be available in Upazila. With the direction of Honorable Prime Minister and also our ICT advisor, Mr. Sajeev Wajid, High-Tech Park is going to establish 64 IT training and incubation centers. Each one in at least one in each and every district. Out of those, some are already make ready, some ongoing, some will be taken care of. Right now, 12 high-tech parks or software technology parks are ready to operation different parts. And we will be having more 8 by June 2022. This is the first software technology park in Karwan Bazar, the Vision 2021 Tower. More than 1,000 young stars are working over there with 16 companies. This is so far the biggest right now, Bangabandhu High-Tech City. These are some of the buildings already in operation, and some of the companies who are working over there. They Samsung, Hyundai, Oryx, and Walton. Samsung, the Korean giant, Hyundai, and the giant from company, Walton, our very favorite national brand, Oryx, from China, from the topmost biotech companies in China. They are under operation here. More than 5,000 high-ended employment already created over there. As said by some speakers, the left bottom is the Tier 4 data center, 6th most largest data center in the world.
Dr. Ghosh, can you wrap up in another minute or so that we can go back to the panel?
The left upper end is the Nokia. They are producing the most advanced handset, the Nokia, and also different other companies who are under operation. This is the Sheikh Hasina Software Technology Park in Jashore. So our high-tech parks or software technology parks are not limited within our capital city or somewhere. Spread it all over the country. And in the Sylhet, the Japanese giant Sony is operating over here. This is in Rajshahi on operational high-tech park. Chittagong, and the software technology park in Chittagong. In Rajshahi, a high-tech park is going to be established and will be operational by June. We also trying to provide support to the universities, as said by Professor Sharifuddin, Honorable President, about the policy making. Yes, sir, I do agree. The policy need to be updated, but when you make the policy, we never do in our own. In all our policies, all our strategies, the academia are very important part. You always consult with the academia. So if there is a gap, definitely there are. Would you agree? So come forward. So let the academician be in the opinion first. Yes, this to be done for the betterment of the country. All we do agree in that line. Definitely, we will accept your policy. All of the in our journey, you are our advisor. You are our lighthouse. We always follow and obey your advice. Government is trying to make the bridge between academia and the industry. Our students who are going abroad, say in US or in Western world, they are doing very, very good, particularly in ICT. But in my country, it's a very frequent complaint from the industry. Students who are coming out, they're very knowledgeable, but skills need to be updated for the present demand of the industry. To mitigate that situation, ITech Park already established 35 4IR labs in different universities, public or private. We do believe that the process will be continued and our next generation will have more capacity to cope up with the present demand, particularly in ICT. These are some of our dream projects. One is the very, very dreaming project, Sheikh Hasina Institute of Frontier Technology, that will be a high-ended one. And we need the support of very enlightened persons who are working here and also abroad, like Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul Karim, who is the honorable panel moderator here. When it will be established, maybe within a couple of years, there will be an exchange program all over the world. There's a huge demand, internal demand, in terms of, say, ICT area, electronics, and also the mobile handset. Every year, nearly 50 million handset we need, every year. Only 10 million we can produce with all the companies operating here. So gap is still 40 million every year, and the number will be increasing. The same for the other electronics, like, say, computer, like, say, laptops, like smart screen, AC, whatnot. So it's a huge market. That's why very promising companies are coming out from inside and big companies are coming out outside. So far, nearly 600 crore invested by the local companies, and hopefully another 4,000 crore will be invested within the next 2 years. One of the very important and interesting is the Unibet. We are trying to pick up the ideas deposited by the undergraduate students during their graduation. The thesis they submitted in most of the cases in my country are not in use, only for their graduation to have a certificate. But we are picking those ideas to make it whether it is marketable or not. Mentors are engaged, and we already detected 200 such ideas to make it marketable, so that their intellectual property will be theirs and that will be utilized for marketing them, and that will be national asset as well as asset for the student concerned.
Dr. Bikarna,
yes,
we
I'm
need
going to
wrap
finish.
up, please.
And so far, 26,000, more than 26,000 trainings have been provided, and more than 21,000 employment been generated till today. There are a lot of potentials in this area. So as I'm in short of time, so thank you very much. Thanks, Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul Karim, for giving me time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are at a point now. We have about 45 minutes maximum to go back to the various speakers. So I'm going to open up the floor to all 6 of you. And anybody can think, now that you have heard mutually each other, that many issues that perhaps were not raised or not addressed properly. So feel free to ask questions and counter questions. Hopefully we have set up a ground basis of information coming from 6 experts representing corporation, government, societies, and academia. So whoever wants to go ahead, you can please raise hand and I will recognize you and you can get started. I hope somebody will not be embarrassed to go first. If not, I'm just trying to put some context. This may be in light of the fact that we are making a lot of progress, but how much is the progress? And of course, it's very easy for me to say because I'm speaking from outside of the country, but the competition is fierce in the world. It's not because you are sitting still, but because most others are moving at a much faster speed. Despite progress on wireless connectivity, only a fraction of the population have fixed broadband connection. Even if we go, I know we always are going back to 2008. I would like to take you even backward. So Bangladesh was ranked, if I might say, by international telecommunications unions in their ICT development index. We'll put a context that we were ranked 132nd in 2002. That's 17, 18 years ago. But then actually we have begun to slip until we were 135 in 2008, 143rd in 2015, then 147 now out of 176 countries. So in terms of ranking, I must say that ICT in Bangladesh is doing better than the universities because they only dropped about 15 spots in 19 years. So there's a lot of hope. So I just wanted to bring this up and hopefully someone is going to pick up and ask questions or any things that you needed to be emphasized. Anybody wants to go ahead first? I know we lost one speaker who was on the car. That was Dr. Khandakar Azizul Islam. I didn't see him. I think we lost him. Yeah, I think we lost him.
No, I'm not lost. I'm
okay.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here. Okay, fine.
Yes,
I stand corrected.
Yes. No, I'm also with you because I was at that time during my presentation. I was heading to Dhaka. I have arrived safely by the grace of Almighty, and I'm seeing you. You are smiling and good moderation. And the question you raised right now, if I say from the government part, if you allow me, I can add something.
Please.
Yes, the ranking. Yes, the ranking. It becomes ups and downs to some extent, but there is some sort of thinking about this, that how the rank. This is my when they use the data, use the old and if they take the data from Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics or any other government, other private agencies, and we see these data are old data. So if they use or analyze or critical analyze, if they do, with the updated data, the present scenario, the digital development, then I think the ranking may vary. So data is a concern. If any other panelist may add from their end, they can. But my observation, because we had a debate on that, we sit with different agencies. Thank you.
Anybody else wants to make any comments or add from the panelists?
Well, let me allow to put my idea about, in addition to Dr. Khondokar, Azizul Islam, yes, the data availability is one question, and the use of data, particularly they use data from or the 3-4 years back, something like that. Because recent data is sometimes it's our fault that we don't display the latest situation in our country. The concerned authority, they don't it. But in addition to this, the way of ranking is also dependent on the socio-cultural factors. The experts who are working in this area, they put in mind about the Western culture or something like that, but our culture is a bit different. So it's usually the people hardly take the socio-cultural consideration of our country. So if it is included, then I guess the ranking might be different. Though not at the top, but might be a little bit different.
Anybody else has any other comments to add?
Hi, I'm Shahid here from Ruby.
Yes.
As we have experience working with the ITU and the global organization like GSMA, and we have conducted a bit of research ourselves to find out why we are behind in the global ICT index. So if you look at the global ICT index, and if you look at where are we actually behind, which parameters that we are behind, the major areas that we found is that, of course, Bangladesh has achieved, quite a lot with regards to the ICT infrastructure and access, which is one of the major elements in the global ICT index. But the major area that we are behind is the use of ICT by business and ICT sector and trade in ICT goods. So these are the two areas we are constantly behind. Now, I'm not going to go to the debate of whether the information received by ITU was correct or not correct, but things on the ground and the realization that we have from the business perspective, we are actually, as you have rightly said, Dr. Karim, from global perspective, the competition is fierce. And the way the Western countries are moving, even the Asian giants are moving, we have to compete with them. We cannot look inward. We have to look also outward and see how we can compete with the world. And when we see the countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, I'm not talking about Japan and others. Of course, that's not the race probably we'll be in. But in terms of the adoption of ICT by businesses, we are still far behind, because it's not only the availability, as I said earlier as well. There are a few other issues like access to the digital infrastructure, incentivizing those businesses to use the ICT as a sort of a instruments to develop the business. We are primarily, as Almas Bhai mentioned, primarily the major exporters of garments, but even our garments are just started using the ICT to develop their own manufacturing plants and other business instruments. However, these are the areas I think we need to concentrate. And from our perspective, even from private perspective, private service perspective, when we approach this to the business, we see that, it's not only that they have to adopt the new investment, they also have to invest in the resources. And that's where they face challenges. So I'm not talking about only the large enterprises. I'm talking about here SMEs, and of course, the general service sectors. And if we can somehow boost the policy, implement the policy, encourage those businesses to use the ICT, we will surely achieve, better ranking in the ICT Global Index. And of course, the second point that I mentioned is the ICT sector and trade in ICT goods. In this area also, we are far behind. I think it is, common knowledge that in terms of we are actually providing services to various countries in the world, but when it comes to the ICT goods, and I mentioned in my, discussion that proprietary software, proprietary solutions are also low. So of course, exports, what we are exporting our man hours. We are exporting, we are coding for others. We are developing solutions for others. But in terms of the export of ICT goods, we are far behind. And I praise government ambition to export $5 billion ICT, the target. But again, those are again the services, not necessarily the ICT goods. So those are the specific areas I think we have here policymakers who can address very specifically so that we can improve our global index. Thank you.
Any conversation about academic and industrial interactions? Either by you or let's say by Professor Kaikoban. I'm putting you on the spot.
I pass. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anyone else? We have plenty of time to talk about. I think we have endless opportunities and endless challenges.
Since no one is taking the floor, maybe I'll just pose a quick question. But before I do so, I want to thank all the panelists for taking the time to attend this session. We do this session every year just to touch base on the state of the art or what we are, where we are in terms of making progress. It seems the government is spending a lot of resources to build infrastructure, most recently in the 5G network, establishment of 5G networks, as well as the other infrastructure that Mr. Ghosh has shown. It's a great idea to have a goal like $5 billion of export, but a $5 billion probably is a drop in the ocean, especially if we compare with our neighboring country like India. One company in India, like Tata Consultants, their goal actually is over $1 billion. So my question to the additional secretary or others who are working in the government sector, as well as to Mr. Almas Kabir, probably he is looking into it in the private sector. What is our long-term plan? I do know that people are consulting, they are doing small scale work to bring small scale.
Meeting.
But what is the larger picture? I guess somebody's
Mr. Alom, you are mute. Please unmute yourself. Right now you are mute, so we can't hear you. Please unmute.
Oh, my apologies. Apparently I didn't see the, let me just go back very quickly.
Yeah, can you repeat please your question?
Yes, what I was doing, I was thanking all the panelists for taking the time and joining this session. And then I also want to thank you for bringing the perspectives from the government side as well as from the industrial side. So what I was focusing on, it seems a lot of people, especially from different parts of the country, they are involved in doing small scale consultancy with respect to bringing or solving some smaller scale work. Now, if we look at India, their software sector obviously is one of the, I would say, biggest sector in the world in terms of bringing foreign resources to the country. As an example, Tata Consultancy, their goal actually is over $1 billion. Now, it's great to have a goal like $5 billion, but $5 billion goal is probably a drop in the ocean. And obviously, we cannot go to the top of the tree right away. The question that I had is, what is the long-term picture in terms of bringing maybe large-scale software as well as ICT-related products from the country? The government invested a lot of resources, especially in the 5G communication sector, as well as the infrastructure that is being done through the high-tech authority. So with that, I'd like to see whether the additional secretary can touch on what is going on from the government sector with respect to the planning, and from Mr. Almas Kabir from the private sector, what is going on from that side, and perhaps from Professor Kaikowat, what is the academic perspective?
Okay, thank you, Professor Alom. Yeah, as Professor Alom, I think you want to listen from the ministry.
Please go ahead, just in briefly, so that we can get a better picture of how things are going.
Okay. Thank you very much for your queries. As you know, actually what government does, governments do not do any business. Government has long-term vision. And what government does, government create the infrastructure and creating the digital platform. Government is taking a plenty of projects. We cannot get the return right now. As you have already mentioned, the introduction of 5G. Some projects started 5 years. The people and citizens are using this platform gradually. As you see, some projects, as I mentioned earlier, the connectivity, the digital infrastructure, the broadband upbuild unit. You know, the people, both public and private, they're using the Wi-Fi. Government has taken the projects like Connected Bangladesh. You know, the islands, government has established the digital Maheshkhali Island. This is only one I have given the example. If you go right now, Maheshkhali, what you will see? So there is also the Wi-Fi facilities there, though it is just separated, isolated, it's an island. So e-commerce platform is there. So that the fishermen, they're putting their dry fishes in a particular platform. And you see the entrepreneurs. So they're doing the business. So anybody do order online, they can get their order right now from Maheshkhali to any parts of the country through courier or any other way. So actually, government is establishing the infrastructure. And it's a long term, after 20 years, the country will enjoy this return. And the mobile phone saturation, you see, country like Bangladesh, 165 million people, but 181 million people are using the mobile phones. And in internet, 120 are right now. So saturation is taking place. And government has given their election manifesto, Amar Gram, Amar Shahar. So this, what does it mean? You can all your village, so that government is for the citizen. Internet, the purchasing power of the mobile phones, and not only that. So general
The connection is
villages
not
now
good.
they can use
I know you are
the
breaking up.
and they can do contact with the center. Hello.
Yes, you are breaking up off very much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So actually, what is my message is that government is creating the infrastructure. It's a long-term investment in ICT sector, and government is doing BNDA, Bangladesh National Digital Architecture, and doing the interoperability. So with all ministries, so ICT now in agriculture, in transport, in all service sectors. So it is going on. I thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Karim. Yes.
Thank you. Is somebody else is
May
going to jump?
this is Almas Kabir from
Please.
Basis. So
Please go
just
ahead.
want to share one bottleneck that we have in the industry. You see, of course, we have been receiving tremendous support from the government. But that still, what the bottleneck that we are facing is the lack of skilled human resources. The pace that we want to run towards our goal or towards our destination is getting hindered because we do not have enough skilled people, and we feel there is a big gap in the academia and the industry. So when I have always been advocating for this, that this gap has to be reduced, and the merger or the marriage of knowledge and skill has to be there. So the academia must come forward. And right now we are producing 22,000 graduates in IT in different subjects, engineering and computer science, and so on every year. But that number is not enough. And also, not all of these 22,000 graduates, IT graduates, are employable right away. So this needs to be addressed immediately. And academia, especially the University Grants Commission, they have to come forward and take some immediate measures. Otherwise, the goals that we have set will be difficult to achieve. Another thing is that the $5 billion target that we have made by 2025, that will include software, IT-enabled services, and digital devices. So as you know that we have started manufacturing laptops and smartphones and IoT devices. So that has to be encouraged. Of course, the High Tech Park Authority is giving lots of incentives, but I think, we need to, have more and more skilled people, skilled ICT professionals. And another thing is that the infrastructure, of course, in my presentation, I also bragged about the mobile penetration and the internet penetration. And you see, because of the satellite, Bangabandhu Satellite 1, there is not even a square inch left in the whole of Bangladesh where you cannot get internet. You can just, even if in the remotest area where you do not have even a mobile network, you can still get internet connectivity if you have a small visa. But the problem remains that all this internet users that we have, 94% are mobile internet user. If we cannot increase the broadband internet user, the benefit cannot be reaped. And once we can give the broadband internet at the right price, at the right speed to the remotest area, people from those areas, they can join into the, contributing, they can start contributing to the economy by doing outsourcing works, by doing digital commerce and so on. So these are the two areas. Number one is skill, lack of human resource, skilled human resource, and lack of broadband penetration. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that matches my
Right.
observations too.
Can I
Yes,
have some supplementation?
Sure.
Thank you. For the policy concern, we having, I'll say, three types of target. One for the short term, 2025. Second is the 2031, and long term is the 2041. For the target of 2025, government want to cover all the citizens about the internet facility. Majority would be the broadband, because with the support of government, almost all our education institutions and also our local bazaars are going to have the Wi-Fi connectivity by next, say, 2 years. But for the citizen concern, it will be like the utility, say for the power. Government will provide broadband through the ISPs, and definitely it will be available, affordable to almost all citizens. Second is these services. Right now, nearly 300 government services are provided by the Union Digital Centers. One of the very epoch-making development, the bottom-up approach. During last 7 years, almost 800 million e-services provided to the village dwellers. And the savings for those e-services is about 80,000 crore Bangladesh taka, 80,000 crore Bangladesh. And it's about 3,000 services that we have planned to provide by 2025. For the freelancing, right now, about 650,000 freelancers are working, and their total earning is amounting to a little below $1 billion, about 800 million. And as said by the President Basis, the total earning in by 2025 in ICT sector will be amounting to, say, $5 billion, and that will stand about $25 billion by 2031, and definitely will cross the garment sector by 2041, and ICT will be number one foreign currency earning source. Say about the for high-tech parks, by 2031, we are going to establish 104, either high-tech park or software technology park or the IT training and incubation center all over the country. And by 2025, by 4 years, the employment will cross 60,000, and hopefully it will be more than 200,000 by 2031. Also, the strategy. We are trying to update our strategies. We already have artificial intelligence strategy. IoT strategy, robotics strategy, data analytics strategy, and also microchips strategy. The next to provide the policy concept, because we are very new here. For any new chapter, strategy comes the first. Second is the policy, and next is the law or act. So we always take the help, support, and mentorship from the academia to have our strategy or policy or act, whatever we made for the benefit of the country. For the capacity development of the whole nation, I try to put some light. We started from the very beginning, including the whole nation, but it's a really, really very big challenge to increase the capacity of 170 million people. So it's not only for the ICT graduates, say about 20,000 IT graduates, to make them more capable. In addition to those, we also need to include non-IT based, because for working in the IT area, the ICT graduation is not essential. And it's not possible to provide IT graduation degree to all the citizens, because it's almost 40 million people, 40 million students who are coming from the primary schools every year. Out of those, only say about 20,000 is that. So what about the rest? We are trying to make them capable in IT area by short trainings, say about 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, something like that. In school and also in Upozela, we'll be having high capacity labs to provide them upgraded training to be at par with the world or something like that. These are some of the points that I tried to just supplement from my side. So thank you very much.
So this is Professor Mohammad Sharifuddin. So may I add something?
Please, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Lataul Karim, for giving me the chance. So I do agree with Mr. Almas Kabir that the only mobile internet is not sufficient for the really for digital services. And that is for earning foreign currencies or contributing in IT sectors. So that's why Wi-Fi, I do agree with him. But the other point he mentioned that there is a gap between, in my speech, I also mentioned that there is a big gap in IT, in academia and industry. So in fact, in foreign universities, there are, so far I know, in foreign universities, every university's students have the chance to do internship. So our curriculum, I fully believe in our curriculum that our curriculum is world standard. But the problem is just fine tuning. So how these students, these undergraduate students, to be involved in internship in the industry? So the industry should come forward and to take this industry, these students. So every year, say more than 20,000 students have graduated in IT sector, only in computer science and ICT. But how many are familiar with the industry? This is the main gap, and industry has really needs a tremendous role to come forward and to involve these students so that these students can cope with their problems and can serve the industry. And as a result, these professionals will be world standard. So we would like to develop our students as global standard, but the problem is our industry always, we are just giving blame, say, to industry, academics giving blame to industry, and industry giving blames to academy, but the middle maker may be the government. The government can take a big role in reducing this gap. This is really, really essential. So I assure that our curriculum is world standard, but the problem is fine tuning. So if we have the enough opportunity, enough industry, enough placement, then our students will be really world standard. These students, when go to abroad, they are serving that country excellently, and there are lots of history, lots of success story, lots of examples that our students do not be less competent compared to the world standard. So that's why I strongly support that our education system is on the right track, but the problem is fine tuning. Just I would like to add this supplement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Just in
Professor.
between, yes, please go
Professor
ahead.
Ataulkar, may I add in this regard something?
Sure, please.
Yes, I'm Dr. Aziz speaking from ICT division. Yes, the previous speaker said about the bridge and the relationship between the industry and the university freshers. Yes, government is establishing the specialized lab in the public and private universities. Already, the Chittagong University of Engineering and Technology, Jahangirnagar University, BUET, and other universities, the government established the specialist IT lab and incubation center. After getting degree from the university, so they're doing the incubation there. And what is government university do is that to do the connectivity with the industry. So after incubation, they can enter job in the industry. So industry will place their requirement, what sort of requirement they have. So in incubation center, the specialized lab in the public and private universities, they will provide the necessary skilled IT students, skilled students to the industry. So this is going on by the government. Second is about the international market. So government is offering plenty of IT training courses. The recently government established a body, National Skill Development Authority. So this authority under the Prime Minister's office, what they do, they are standardizing the training.
I think we have lost you.
From the different government, other organizations which are offering the IT training. So this. So are you hearing me?
No, I think we are losing you.
It's okay?
Not really. You are coming and going.
It's okay now?
No, it has not improved.
Dr.
I'm sorry.
Karim?
Yeah,
No,
it
can you
sometimes comes
hear
back,
me?
but often you also fade away.
Okay. Okay. I will come later. I'll come later.
Thank you.
Thank
Let
you.
me rehash
Thank
this same point because it looks like 2 or 3 speakers have been focusing on this. Back to industry and academia collaboration. And I think some of you have been already trying to address it. But again, as somebody from outside the country, I can notice this. Some of you are saying industry should come forward. And some of you are saying university should come forward. That's the divide you have. We are always asking the other people to take the shot. I'll just give you an example from my own university here. Every undergraduate student, especially engineering student, would do a senior capstone project over 1 year. Every project will have people from different discipline of engineering. But what is most important to mention, every project is funded by some industry to work on some problem of the industry. So essentially, the industries are getting literally free service of the faculty, but looking at the undergraduates who are actually working on it. And while they are working on this project, they're actually training the students who are going to be a highly skilled worker if you choose to hire them. So again, I'm just saying, I know what I'm seeing. One group is saying the other side should come forward, but clearly it is not happening. Otherwise, we would not have gone this. I do see, I've been very fortunate to serve on several board of trustees, especially private universities. Some of them are actually investing dollar in cultivating research within the university. That's a very good sign. And the government is trying to, as somebody mentioned, is trying to build certain labs in different universities, but never enough. And the industries must participate in this. They cannot stay on the side and that things will get solved. You can complain as much as you can, but you will not be able to get the right students, the same students who are actually going overseas and becoming very successful, extremely successful. So it's not that university lacks producing great students, but I think this gap is enough. And the closest that I see in Bangladesh television, at least in the advertisement, Buete Porikrito. If this is the extent of research support, that's not what I'm asking for. I'm saying real support for generating research is what is needed. Now, I know I'm giving my spiel here, but I'm only emphasizing because quite a few of you have been talking about this. We have just about 2 minutes left. Anybody has any last moment who didn't get a chance to speak and wants to speak? Professor Saikaikobad, you are absolutely silent. I'm just trying to see who else that did not get to speak. Anybody else? If not, we are right there.
Just a few words.
Huh?
If you allow me, just a few words. This
yeah, has to be less than 1 minute.
Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority.
Yeah, we have to finish at 5:30. Yes.
Yes. I do agree what Professor Sharif sir said. Always there's a blaming from industry side, from academia side. So in that case, our industry is not as at par the Western country or the US. Usually there's a lot of industry financing towards the universities. Hopefully in near future, we'll see that. Government is trying to bridging, as I said, nearly 35 labs established in different universities. That is from the, tax from the poor citizen. But if I'm not wrong, there is a little bit, the idea was that that the lab will not be limited for the university department itself, for the whole university, and also for those who need to use the lab. Say for one lab in Buet, that will also be accessible for the Dhaka University student as well. But in some cases, the lab is not being utilized as per our desire. In some cases, it's locked for the department itself, not even for the other departments of the same university. So our request to the teachers, my mentors, the Lighthouse, please ensure the highest utilization of the labs set in different universities. So thank you very much. That's the prayer from my side to our academia or enlightened teachers.
Thank you very much, everybody, for participating. We have just passed 4:30 p.m. Bangladesh time. It's 5:31 a.m. in the United States. Thank you very much. I appreciate being associated with the organization. Thank you, ICCIT. I thank North-South University in particular, And I need to mention this, North-South University has sponsored ICCIT for the third time. They were the first private university to sponsor ICCIT in year 2000. The year we say the world is going to go down on Y2K, and it didn't. But that's the year they came and sponsored, and this is the third time they did. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your participation. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam.